So welcome to today's webinar. We will wait another minute so other participants can also join. So hello and welcome to the webinar on the role of the national nodes in France, Poland and the Netherlands within AgrifoodTEF. My name is Marijke Hunning and I work for ILVO, the Flemish Institute for Agriculture, Fisheries and Food. I'm the manager of the Belgian node within AgriFood and I will moderate today's webinar. We have put together a program in which we will discover how these nodes are organized, what services they offer, and how companies can get in touch with them. You can go to the next slide. So our speakers of today are Julie and Ankur representing the French node, Thomas, who will tell us more about the Polish node, and Jos, who will take us through the workings of the Dutch node. We will start with the presentations from the three national nodes, followed by an interactive Q&A session where you can ask questions to the speakers. So let's start with our first speakers, Julie and Ankur, who will tell us more about the French approach.
Thank you, Marijke. Hi, everyone. So I'm Ankur Matani. I'm a project manager at LNE, which is a French lab in France. And I'm also the French Node coordinator. So we're going to talk today about the French Node partners, all of our services, and what we provide in terms of services and how to engage with us, partners, French partners. So in terms of French partners, you can find some very diversity of partners, such as research centers, such as LNE and INRIA. So LNE, for example, is an independent trusted third party. So we can provide AI evaluation on models, for example, and certifications to comply with the European AI Act, for example. Then we have INRIA, which is also a well-known research center in computer science and robotics. So they provide, for example, many kinds of drones, sensors, and expertise in terms of robotics. So, for example, for autonomous mobility for the agri-food sector. Then we have some key players also, such as ACTA, which is in the coordination of a network of experimental farms in France, and who can we can rely on them to get in touch with specific experimental farms and physical resources. Then we have also a top-tier scientific lab, which is INRAE, who has expertise in food and environmental sciences. And they provide in this AgrifoodTEF project expertise in safety of machinery. For example, they provide certification on, for example, obstacle detections for machineries, for huge tractors and sensors. And then we have some very sectorial and expert players such as Arvalis, who is on arable crops. So they provide, for example, technological and economic performance of robotics in for cereals, corn, sorghum, for example, forage, and any kinds of arable crops. Then we have EFV, which is a huge player in the south of France for vineyards. So they have also expertise in terms of robotics and autonomous mobility for in vineyards. And then we have IDEL in the west side of France, and they're everywhere in France. They have some experimental farms in livestock farming for beef, calf, for example, and they provide and then can test many kind of technologies in their experimental farms, such as drones or even telecommunication technologies. And our last player is Chambre d'Agriculture Pays de la Loire, and they have an expertise into cow livestock farming and milk production. regarding all kind of processes in the production of milk. Then I'm going to now present our services. So we have a full spectrum of services going from the training to the certification. Our goal is to provide any kind of support in SMEs in Europe throughout the complete development process of an AI or robotics system. So we can provide specific trainings on, for example, algorithms for mobility or for AI testing. Then we can provide any kind of tools such as database collection of provision directly from experimental farms in south or north of France, or even outside of France in Europe, with field expertise, of course, in the sectors that we presented earlier. And then any kind of testing to improve your systems. So it could be laboratory testing where we have controlled parameters to improve our systems, and then test in experimental farms. So we can propose some physical resources that we are going to show you in the next slides. And finally, for certification, so we provide also, so as I said earlier, AI certification for AI algorithms or AI processes in a company, and then certification or conformity assessment services regarding safety of machinery. The idea is to increase TRL level of any kind of system that includes AI and robotics, and to help any SME to reach the market. Here are some examples of kind of resources that we make available throughout this AgrifoodTEF project. So for example, on the left side, we have a simulation environment in which we can test edge cases, for example, of AI softwares or any kind of mobility softwares in experimental farms that we can completely model through the needs of some companies, and also through any kind of parameters, climatic, for example, but also on the cereals. And on the right side, we have a moving living lab, which is basically a truck, which is completely equipped with sensors, drones, and robotics equipments that can help go on the field and collect some data, the correct data in the correct time. So in the correct season for any kind of maturity of crops, for example. So that's also one of the assets we make available. Then in terms of conformity assessment and certification, so on the left side, we have a video here, which is the testing of obstacle detection in front of a huge machinery. So we can see that regarding this ISO standard, we implemented the test, and we are providing here all the parameters and the setup to test this. So as an SME, the SME can only provide, for example, the sensor or the algorithm or the complete structure of the machinery, and then we can set up the test altogether. And on the right side, we have some examples of AI certification. So that's more about to comply with the AI regulation who enters in force in 2025 regarding high-risk systems, for example. So for that, we provide some phases and steps for audits and in order for companies to get these certifications. And now I'm letting Julie present you our physical resources in France.
Thank you, Ankur. Good morning, everyone. I am Julie Menadi from ACTA. I am also the DigiFarm Network Coordinator, and I will focus on some of our infrastructures we have in TEF. As you can see on the map, our infrastructures and our partners are present all over the country. The infrastructures and test beds have specialization in robotics and or in AI solutions, and we can go from laboratories to full-scale experimental farms. These farms are part of the DigiFarm network, which is a network of experimental farms with facilities and expertise on digital agriculture. We can work on arable farming, vine growing, and livestock farming all over the country. These real-life experimentation facilities also represent a big diversity of production contexts. Let's focus on a few examples to give you ideas of what we have and what we can do. So here we have an example in the south of France. It is the DigiFarm of the Vinopole Sud-Ouest. It is 15 hectares dedicated to vine growing experimentation. They have over 300 grape varieties and experts who are used to working with many different technologies, such as weeding robots or different connected captors, for example. This partner can offer both digital and physical services through TEF, So here I give you some ideas of services we can offer. On the digital side, we can provide viticulture expertise for data collection on AI issues. We can even go further and help on data labeling for AI detection purposes. And since this experimental farm has already a lot of data sets on the vineyard growing, we can provide those data sets through TEF to have AI training in real vine growing conditions. Regarding the physical services side, we can provide dedicated and private experimentation facilities on the real vineyard. We have different plots and also different conditions and situations we can provide our clients to test their solution on. We can also provide support and expertise for the robotic development and testing in the vineyards. And lastly, which is the main point, we are also here to validate AI or robotic solutions for vineyard management. Let me give you another example on the livestock farming side. So the west part of France has different DigiFarm on livestock farming that are involved in TEF. As you can probably see on the picture on your left, we have many facilities with specialized equipment to carry out tests on new technologies. Having full-scale farm is definitely an asset if you want to validate your solutions in real-life settings. We do have full herds of cows, calves, sheep, and also different production systems you can test your solutions on. So we are here to provide technical support and the physical infrastructures for the test. And among our different facilities and equipments, we also have pretty unique tools, such as farms with the 5G network to test different solutions. Just like the other DigiFarm I just presented to you, you can go back to the last slide, please. Thank you. No, to the last one. So we have experts in all of our DigiFarm to work with you. As you can see on the right, that's just an example of what we can do on our farms. We use drones and we can help developing algorithms to detect the sheep, count them, and also track them. And we can think of many use cases we could create with you on your technologies. We can move on to the next slide, please. Thank you. So now that you can't wait to test and validate your solutions with us, let me take you through the different steps of collaboration in TEF. So firstly, there's obviously the consumer search, even though now we have new customers coming to us first. The first meetings are crucial because we make sure of the different requirements. And a key step for us is translating your needs in TEF services. We make sure our services are highly customizable, and we also have a coordination among all the French partners to provide you with the best infrastructure we have and also the best expertise we have among the French node. Then we do sign a contract and provide the service, and it is important to us to keep a good level of communication with our clients throughout the service provision, but also once it has been delivered. I think the key message here is that tailoring our services to your needs is one of the main strengths of the French node. And now I give back the floor to Ankur to conclude the French node presentation.
Thanks, Julie. So just as main key takeaways, for example, we have a full spectrum of testing services from lab testing to real-life experimentation facilities and all across France. So across a diversity of farms, sectors, but also climate variable farms. And we have an expertise into arable farming, viticulture, and livestock farming, and that's all available thanks to AgrifoodTEF. So you've got here our email addresses, coordinates, and contacts. So don't hesitate to and feel free to join us and to engage with us directly. I'm giving the floor to Thomas to present the Polish node now. Thomas, your mic is shut down.
Yes, okay, I'm here. Hello, everyone. My name's Tom Jankowski. I'm the head of the Polish node of AgrifoodTEF. Actually, Polish node of AgrifoodTEF is the consortium of 3 companies. We are all located in the western part of Poland, which is Wielkopolska region. But of course, we are serving the services to whole Poland and of course to the customers in other countries, European countries. The leader of the consortium, the leader of the node is Łukasiewicz Poznański Instytut Technologiczny, which is the Poznań Institute of Technology. We are specialized in developing and testing innovation in agriculture machinery. We are specialized in this and have experience in this. As well, we have the strong division of AI engineering division, and as well we provide...
Thomas,
yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but the sound is really not that great. Maybe you can try another way, or because you hear some background from yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. Hear me better now?
Yes, it's better.
Right. Okay, I will as well try to speak slower and louder. Right, so we are as well equipped with laboratories and the compliance tests as well for the AI Act testing. This is something that I'm going to show you later. Within the consortium, we've got as well the Poznań Super Networking Computer Center, which is mostly specialized in digital solutions, digital infrastructure, drone technologies, and computing optimization. They are as well the competence center for the full spectrum of any ICT technologies. And last but not least, there is Greater Poland Agriculture Advisory Center. Sorry, this is very difficult name in Polish, but as well in English. But the center, the WODR, allows us to test most of the solutions in the real world, in the test farms, and they are specialized in providing the test machineries, algorithms, and as well the combination of many data sources for the validation of the solutions. Okay, let's go next slide. So having in the portfolio all those three companies, we are able to provide full spectrum of the tests for the autonomous vehicle, robots, drones, which is as well combined with the HPC cloud data center and exclusive 5G network. Thanks to the WODR, we've got as well access to the test facilities and these test fields, to the airfield in Konkolewo that is specialized in testing and providing solutions for in the tests in the area of testing the drones. Of course, we've got access to the testing and demonstration farms, and I said before, there are available laboratories for testing and for compliance of the solutions. Okay, let's go further. So the infrastructure of the Łukasiewicz is mostly as well based in of the available machineries for benchmarking. As you can see on the slides, there are two of them. But as, of course, we've got the full potential for providing the security testing, functional testing, acquisition of the field data, as well through the machines that we have ourselves, but as well from the sources or solutions that are provided by the customers. And of course, as I said before, there are assessment laboratories of any kind. This is the EMC laboratories. There are laboratories of the safety and security, and any others that are necessary for the customers. We try to get as much as possible for the customer needs that are available within our own resources, but of course there is as well possibility of sharing the resources of other centers that I'm going to show you just in a second. Okay, next slide. As I told you before, the PSNC is specialized and has the capacity as well of high performance computing within the fields of AI testing, algorithm optimization. So their data center is quite huge with quite many possibilities to use. It can be used on premises, it can be used as a cloud storage, it can be used as a cloud infrastructure as a whole. And there are several services that are around this. So we can not only test, but as well we can provide the computing power for tests that are meant to be done and conducted by the companies themselves. Okay, next slide. Within the infrastructure, we've got several laboratories that are as well optimized for the use of the drones. We can use as well the sandbox of the APGPG airfield. So you can see here we've got the infrastructure for the indoor tests of the drones with the exclusive 5G network. And this is, of course, all available through the services that we are providing. Okay, next one. WODR, as said before, this is the testing fields that are available for the customers within the services that we have. So the test can be the physical test of the machineries of the solutions that are provided, but as well we can provide the data sets and the data according to the needs of the customer within the digital services. Those experimenting and testing facilities are equipped with all type of the machineries that can be customized and used for the purposes of the tests. We've got their demonstration farms, apiaries, even the collection of the energy plants. As well, we can provide the fields with the phenological stations and the data that is historically obtained. And of course, we've got other machineries that are used around the fields. For example, breeze sprinkler that can be used as well with the tests of the software that is provided by the customers. Okay, the next one. Okay, guys, so what actually we are providing to the customers, because we are always talking about the services, but those services, there are multiple services, they are quite difficult or specified for the customer needs. So to make it easier for the customers that can come from EDIHs or are somehow transitioned from EDIHs to TEFs, we prepared the areas that we are specified and our services are specified. So first of all, we've got the physical testing services, which is mostly about the iterative testing of the real world solutions that can be tested on the fields, on the farms, in the barns. So whenever the testing is needed with the iterative approach, this is where the physical testing is taking place. And the second leg, actually the most important, is the digital testing with the AI specialized knowledge and services. This is where we can provide from the very start the data sets, annotated data sets, or just the data streams that are needed for the optimization of the algorithms of the solutions of the companies. But of course, we can as well work on the efficiency of the algorithms that the companies have. Everything depends actually on the needs. But we can as well do the benchmarking of the solution using our own machineries, our own digital twin environments, but as well using the benchmarking of the other of our partners. We are at this moment, at the transition moment as well, preparing some of the more specialized services dedicated to the legal assistance. And this is where we're gonna provide assistance and analysis of the innovative solutions for the companies with respect mostly to the AI Act and the legal aspects that are in European Union, just to allow the companies for innovate without fear of infringement. As I said before, we've got the capacity and we are ready for the pre-certification test for the companies, not only in security, electromagnetic, emissivity, but as well in the cyber vulnerability tests, providing as well the high standards for the other tests that can be beneficial for the companies in order to keep the highest quality and standards for the products that are meant to be launched on the market. When it comes to ELSA and LCA, we assess the life cycle of products. We measure the impact of them on the environmental and people, and as well we provide the high-risk services just to innovate responsibly and to give this opportunity to test it and validate through our staff and through our services. When it comes to business, we are linking our partners and the enterprises between each other, because this is as well the case. We've got so many cooperation with the companies that have different needs, and we found out that actually this cooperation can be expanded to other companies. So we're linking the companies, but we as well provide the facility and way to cooperate with different partners and nodes of the AgrifoodTEF. So the services that we are offering, they are not only offered by Polish node, but as well we are cooperating with all the nodes that are available in AgrifoodTEF. So this is mostly, at this moment, we are, for example, cooperating with the Spanish node, providing services for one of our customers. As well, there is an cooperation that is prepared for the Polish company with the Belgian node. So this is a very trans-country cooperation, and it gives the opportunity as well to test and validate the solutions for the customers in different countries, in different environments, and different user scenarios. Okay, let's go further. I will not say anything else from what was said before during the presentation on the French node and Julie. So actually the journey is quite the same. Maybe the difference is that we are providing the services as a Polish node as a one-stop shop, which means that the company that approaches AgrifoodTEF and wants to use the services only signs one agreement, and the paperwork is only done once. And this allows the company to use the services from 3 different enterprises, institutes. So this is how we are organized. We do everything together, and actually customer search as well is done the way that we are searching the customers. If the customer is found and the analysis of the needs is made, we are actually dividing what can be offered by which institution. And then according to this, the quotation and the preparation of the agreement is prepared. And this is how we together jointly provide the services and provide the help for the customers. So actually, this is quite beneficial for the customers, because there is no need of signing many agreements. It's always done once, and there is one coordinator of the services that coordinates the services through all the partners. Okay, the next one. So thank you very much. Just to finish, we try to provide as good services as possible, having in mind the area and the nature of the SMEs, their speed of innovation, and this is how we as well organize the work within the Polish node. Having in mind that the product and its launch time is the most important in terms of companies. So if you feel that you are having such a company somewhere on the horizon that can benefit from cooperation with Polish Node or any node from AgrifoodTEF, please don't hesitate to contact us or any of those channels, LinkedIn channel, AgriFood channel, Facebook channel, or just through the email. Thank you very much. I'm passing the voice to the Dutch node representative, that is Jos.
Thank you, Thomas. Yes, my name is Jos Verstegen. I'm the front office manager for Dutch node of AgrifoodTEF. Paul van Zochel is the Dutch node lead, but he was not available today, but we made the slides together. Next slide, please. Yes, just a few words about Wageningen University and research, because we are the only partner within AgrifoodTEF of the Netherlands, but with very different divisions. Wageningen University and research is a combination of the Wageningen University, and which is of course a university teaching, educating students and doing fundamental research. But next to that, we have the Wageningen Research, who does strategic and applied research. Yeah, some figures, about 13,000 plus students, 7,000 researchers altogether. And especially worthwhile to mention, I think, is that we have a relatively new Wageningen campus. And on this campus, we have 230 organizations. So we try to develop an ecosystem, not only with the Wageningen University and research institutes, but also ecological institutes, but also large companies like Friesland Campina, Unilever. And we have also many small and medium enterprises, including startups. So this is, let's say, already a good the environment for testing and validation, because we are close to where the innovators are working. Next to the central campus in Wageningen, we have also several locations around, showing the food, the focus areas. Sorry, you switched very quickly to the next slide, but so we have 23 locations spread across the Netherlands. Yeah, next slide, please. Within AgrifoodTEF, we have 6, let's say, groups. The vision and robotics group specialize very much on robot arms, sensing technology, digital twins. Then we have the Marke, which is a livestock research center in the field. So it's a very applied research center. We have the Farm of the Future, which is focusing on the arable farming with field cropping technology, all kind of precision agriculture. Then in my institute, Wageningen Social and Economic Research, we have developed the ELSA lab. It was also mentioned by Thomas. So the ethical, legal, and societal aspects are developed there, which is, let's say, typical for Wageningen, that we always want to, let's say, combine new technologies like AI and robotics, but also, let's say, traditional cultivation technique, circular agriculture, but also the social and economic aspects in the different divisions. Then we have the Wageningen Data Competence Center, so the WDCC. They are most closely connected to the university, so they do very fundamental research also on data science and let's say connecting data with different new technologies. And then we have Farm Maps finally, which is a software platform with all the new software that we develop, we put on it, and farmers can submit their data and have the newest developments there. And it also allows researchers to test in reality very quickly. Next, please. So, as I mentioned, physical infrastructure, we are located in the middle of the Netherlands. So the dot in In the middle is Wageningen, but we have 23 locations around the Netherlands, from bookkeeping to field testing. In this institute, we have in this project, we have the Vision and Robotics Lab is in Wageningen. The field crops in Lelystad are the highest picture. I don't see if you see my cursor, but probably not. And then to the right, you have the Marke, which is the Livestock Research Center. And the virtual collaboration labs there, they can be everywhere, of course. Next slide, please. Yeah, what kind of services we did? My colleague Paul, the Dutch note lead, he made this joke, just like many notes, we can do it all. And that's actually what we still see. Of course, there's a specialization. If you see the French presentation focusing on wine production, which is hardly available in the Netherlands, and we focus very much on livestock farming, and then especially on dairy farming, because that's where we specialize in the Netherlands, and we have a lot of dairy farmers. But with regard to robotics and AI and testing and validation, we do a lot of services who are very similar to what we heard in the previous presentations. Next slide, please. So the field crops, the farm of the future, which I mentioned before, is doing a different field. So cultivation techniques to have strip cropping to see if you can reduce the chemical use, pesticide use. But with respect to the AI and robotics, they have the precision agricultural tools. So we use drones. We use robot arms on a tractor, and we use autonomous driving tractors to see if we can reduce the use of pesticides, reduce the need for fertilizers, and also to see if we can make it more circular. Yeah, next slide, please. The Marke is doing actually very much the same, but then in the livestock area. So it's also about variable rate application of nutrients. We have maybe more than other countries within Europe. We have quite some issues with environmental conditions, and we work very hard to solve that. And both the farm of the future and the Marke, they are focusing on how to reduce this emissions of nitrogen, how to reduce the nitrate leakage to the groundwater, and so on. But by doing that with livestock, you also have to monitor the welfare of the animals, of course, and you also have to monitor the health condition of the animals. So we have tools for that as well. Next slide, please. Yeah, then the vision and robotics group, they focus on sensing and acting. So vision technology, but also robot arms. They do it for very different customers already. One of the great facilities that we have and that we also share with others is the Phenotype Center. It's a very, very high-tech greenhouse facility and also a container facility where we measure every plant in every growth stage, including the root developments with all kinds of sensors. So we can see exactly what light, colors, and so on do. Then we go to the ELSA lab. Mentioned before, this is specialized of the Wageningen social and economic research. We have some people who did a PhD on the Data Act, on the AI Act, and we developed interviews and survey techniques to help developers to let's say prevent to get a setback after you introduce something to the market, because you want to know that it's safe, that there's no ethical issues with it. And to the right, you can see all the different elements that we consider on ethical, legal, and social. So that's a very wide range from legal issues to privacy issues to animal welfare issues and so on. Next slide, please. Then farm maps and the Wageningen Data Competence Centers, they focus very much on the fundamental aspects of providing a good platform for data sharing, but also making sure that the data can talk to each other. So the mapping of data sets, data science, data analysis, and that's very much connected to the fundamental research of Wageningen University. Next slide. Yeah, again, like the other said, the service journey is very comparable across nodes. There's always an intake. When do you consider something a lead? Then you do the contracting, make agreements on what you will be validating and testing. Then you do the actually validation and testing, and then we collect the feedback and try to improve our services or continue to the next questions that may come up. Next slide. Yeah, this is the final slide, and here you see the picture of our Dutch node lead. So in overview, we have the various testing facilities focusing on AI and robotic solutions, but in the Wageningen approach, always with cultivation techniques, animal welfare, social and aspects, and so on, economic robustness. That's basically what I wanted to tell about the Dutch node. Thank you.
So thank you, Just, Julie, Ankur, and Thomas for your interesting and engaging presentations. We saw during the presentation that some hands were raised, so I think we can now go over to the Q&A session. So Francesca, I think your hand is raised for the longest time, so maybe you can ask your question. I'm just... I'm trying to let her speak as well. Maybe we have also Bert van Gessel. Maybe we start first with you. I also ask if it's possible. Otherwise, write your questions in the chat. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's me, Bert van Gestel. I'm from Eindhoven, from the south of the Netherlands. So looking at the Wageningen AgrifoodTEF, I was wondering, you said you have 23 locations through the whole country, through the whole Netherlands. So we have one partner in our EDI network who is in Zeeland. Do you think maybe they have something close to them they could also use?
Certainly, you know, of course, the Netherlands is a small country, so it's easy from Wageningen. If you travel 150 kilometers, you're and almost cover the whole area. So that's not a big issue. We have 23 locations. To be honest, we have let's say census data collection for the national census, and we have bookkeeping stations, for example, in Goes in Zeeland. So that's very close to where you probably looking at, but yeah, distance is no problem.
Yeah, I'll try to connect our Impulse Zeeland colleagues to you then, probably.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bert, for your question. So maybe Francesca, you can also, but I do not see your hand raised anymore. No. I can see in the chat if there are some questions left, but one of the questions is, can I test the same service with different agri-food within different agri-food nodes, or am I just allowed to cooperate with one of them? So maybe Ankur or Thomas, maybe you can answer that one.
Okay, I can take this one. So basically, there are no limitations of how many partners are used by one SME. So I can see any obstacle that would limitate this. So if, for example, you want to use one service in, for example, Spain, and then in Poland you can use it. probably would be beneficial to make this plan and to use them wisely in terms of having the results comparable, or the result that can be used by other provider to iterate on the on what was already gained with the first service. So yeah, there are no limitations in short, but probably it would be nice to coordinate this together.
Maybe I can
Okay,
add, Marijke.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I would rather encourage it to look around, because as I mentioned in my presentation, we have some specialization across Europe. We don't do anything with vineyards, but we know in France they have a lot of expertise. So if a wine grower in the Netherlands would contact us, we would certainly forward them to France, and I hope they do the same if there's something that we can do in a better way. So the idea of the European Union also to promote this project is that as a whole, AgrifoodTEF across Europe, we will be a strong organization. So it will certainly look around where you can find the best, and yeah, that only makes us stronger, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Just. There is another question in the chat, Andreas. So he said, thanks to all the great presentations. Could you please comment on any specific service related to using data space downstreams data, if available? So if one of you can.
I'm not sure if I understand what the question is, so maybe he can.
So Andreas, I will also
Data.
allow you to speak, so maybe you can clarify your question. Space is satellite data.
Hello,
is right.
everyone. So by space data, I mean satellite data. If you're using any, if you have any services where you use satellite data. Thanks.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's specific in this AgrifoodTEF, but I know that especially what I mentioned about environmental issues, we use satellite data now in our research to see where ammonia emission is going if they reach nature areas, for example. And also we try to complement drone data with satellite data for variable rate application, because satellite data is very cheap, but you cannot always use them when there are clouds. So if you can combine it with drone data, that's very high quality, but also more expensive, then you can have the best of both worlds. So if possible, we combine the data.
Yeah, so if I can add to this, yeah, we've got several services as well, somewhere around validation of the algorithms as well we're using the satellite data. So yeah, the answer is yes, we are using this the data from the downstream of the just to validate or to provide better algorithms for the customers.
And I assume, but maybe Julie, is she still around? She was telling about this monitoring of livestock. I assume that they use GPS data for that as well. So that's also kind of satellite data, of course.
Yes, absolutely. And we can also help in tagging the images we get to have better recognitions, and then also how to imply algorithms in recognition. So the example I gave was to track sheep, for example, but we are currently working on tracking behaviors too. So there are many use cases that we can imagine. And as Joe said, combining satellite data with drone data is very interesting. And for example, the DigiFam farms, many of them have different types of drones that they already have and that they can use. And we also have a lot of data sets regarding those images. So that could be something interesting that we can provide to firms.
Thank you.
So, thank you all. If there are no further questions, I would like to thank you for the questions that we had during this webinar. I also would like to invite you to watch the past videos of the other nodes that are involved within AgrifoodTEF on our website. This recording of this webinar will also be added on the website. You can go to the next slides. So we are planning a new webinar series on different technologies used within the nodes. Your input here is really important. So we would appreciate if you could take a moment to fill out our survey. Your feedback will help us to improve further webinars and to better tailor them to the needs of your EDIH. So then I would like to thank you and all speakers for their valuable insight, and I hope this webinar provided useful information, and I'm looking forward to see you back in the other webinars as well. Thank you.